Hello everyone and welcome to the Ghost Layers Report, here from Tokyo, Japan. I'm with you as always, Ryan. Now for this video we have some interesting information which has come out. Something that a lot of people believe is true, but until we see data or experts coming out and saying it, it's really hard to back it up. But apparently here, data presented at a conference here in Tokyo on November 12th and 13th at the University of Tokyo shows that levels of radioactivity in the sea around the plant of Fukushima is remaining very stable and very high. The radioactive levels are not going down in that area at all, staying at the same high level. Now, researchers have suspected here that the reason for this is runoff from rivers, things like that, and continued leaks from the plant. But the more serious concern here is sediment and marine organisms also probably have a big involvement in this. We'll touch on that a little bit more, but first let's take a look at something else. The new model, which was come up with by scientists at the Holswood Oceanic Institution in Massachusetts, estimates that 16.2 peta BQ of radioactive cesium has leaked from the plant into the water, roughly the same amount that went into the atmosphere. So you have the same level showing up using this new model that the Woods Hole is using. Now, much of that radioactivity, as we already know, spread across the Pacific Ocean, where it becomes diluted to extremely low levels. Now, but in a region near the plant, as we said, levels of cesium-137 have remained fixed at around 1,000 BQ. That's a relatively high level compared to natural levels of radiation you find in the ocean, atmosphere, and in nature in general. So it shows clearly this is not a natural thing happening. So that would kind of shut down anyone who in a pro-nuclear camp would say, oh, it's just background radiation. Well, apparently no, it's not. And cesium-137, radioactive kind, it's not exactly naturally occurring in any environment. It's something you have to enrich. All right. Now, the researchers who presented this stuff at the conference, one in particular, oceanographer Jota Kanda, he works at the Tokyo University Marine Science and Technology, suggests that not one source, but three are responsible, just like we mentioned at the beginning of this video. He says, first, radioactivity from the land is being washed by rainfall into the rivers. Okay, that makes a lot of logical sense, okay? Which is carried out the sea. He mentioned second, the plant itself is leaking around 0.3 TB/BQ per month, which all that goes right into the ocean, because where's the plant? Right in the ocean there, okay? But Kanda is the one bringing up the third source, marine sediment, which he's claiming is the main cause of this continued high level of contamination. He says that around 95 TB/BQ of radioactive cesium has found its way into the sandy ocean floor near the plant. How it got there, Kanda says, no one is exactly sure. Now, I can believe him when he says no one is exactly sure, simply put, because there's not a lot of research data on this. Japanese government sure isn't tracking this stuff properly, and TEPCO doesn't want to have anything to do with tracking how radioactivity or radioactive material ends up in the ocean. They don't want nobody to know that, because if it is come out proven that it's wash off from the soil going to the rivers, that brings up a whole slew of new problems and issues for the nuclear industry to deal with. And of course, they don't want to deal with that. All right, so this is what we have going on here in Japan. Continued high levels of radiation. Now, in the water near the plant. Now, how is that affecting everything overall? Well, fisheries. Okay, it's destroying the economy of these fishermen and ruining their lives. because we're not dealing with this. Alright? It's not being dealt with in Japan. You can help decontaminate things if we know where it's coming from. If we can track it back through the rivers and find out where the runoff is coming from the soil, well, bingo, there's where the radiation is going. And you can start some type of decontamination effort, or at least take care of people's health a little bit better. But no, we don't want to do that now, do we? Because that would mean we'd have to admit we've done something wrong. And of course, we cannot have that now, can we? Admitting we did something wrong, admitting it's our responsibility and we are liable. Oh no, the nuclear industry is choosing to cover itself up. And it's choosing to play games. All in the hope of maintaining their own profit and attempting to keep their butts out of prison or worse. As always, I appreciate you watching these videos. And remember, when people tell you that everything's A-OK in Japan, they're liars.